866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. That's the number to call to get informed, to get your health back, to get your wealth back, to get your life back. Can't help you get your wife back. Can't help you get your girlfriend back. Can't help you get your husband back or your boyfriend back. But I can help you to get your health back, get your wealth back, and then it's a brand new day. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health, with you live again January 6th, Tuesday, January 6th, 2014. Thank you. Monday, January 6th, 2014. Thanks so much for tuning in and turning on. If you're listening to the podcast, 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696. Breaking news, depression linked to low zinc. Depression linked to low zinc levels in the blood. People who are depressed have lower concentrations of zinc in their blood compared with non-depressed individuals, a meta-analysis suggests. The pathophysiological relationships between zinc status and depression and the potential benefits of zinc supplementation in depressed patients warrant further investigation, writes Walter Swardfager. That's quite a name. Swardfager, Ph.D., from the Sunnybrook Research Institute, University of Toronto, Canada, and colleagues. Gotta love Canada. Gotta love Canada. Two things I'd like to say about this. Gotta love Canada, number one. Number two, this guy's a Ph.D. He's not an MD. An MD would never write an article like this. They would never do research like this because from their point of view, nutrition is tertiary. It's secondary. It's ridiculous. It's, it's a non-starter. It's like something that you add on after the fact, maybe kind of sort of if you got nothing else to do and there's some extra, zinc in the pharmacy. Whatever. The article that I pulled off of Medscape, medscape.com, a growing body of evidence demonstrates that experimental zinc deficiency can induce depressive-like behavior in animals, which can be effectively reversed by zinc supplementation. Oh, yeah, it can't happen in humans, though, right? The authors write, furthermore, preliminary clinical trials have suggested that zinc added to antidepressant therapy, I love this, zinc added to antidepressant therapy may produce more rapid or more effective improvements in depressive symptoms. Well, this is good. Somebody in conventional medical circles is looking at reality. Somebody in conventional medical circles is talking about the relationship between trace minerals. Zinc, of course, is a mineral, like calcium, like selenium, like phosphorus, like magnesium. From our point of view, of course, Dr. Wallach's the mineral doctor. Dr. Wallach's been talking about the relationship between trace minerals and human health for 40 years now. I mean, that's a long time. But, because Dr. Wallach doesn't have an MD after his name, nobody pays attention to it. He's just one of those crazy back-of-the-bus naturopaths. Naturopaths? We don't need hiking trails. We need jobs. That's what they say when we try to get naturopathic medicine licensed in states where we're not regulated. So, slowly, our message is percolating to the surface. Slowly, our message is percolating to the surface. You can't keep a good man, you can't keep a good woman down. The truth will out. Once you've experienced the truth, you are in its velvet grasp forever. Fact of the matter is that mineral supplementation has a dramatic positive effect on human health across the board. We know this. We see it every day in clinical practice. It's been proven over and over again in many different types of research published in many different journals all around the world for decades. And it's not news to us because we've actually been practicing it. We've been using therapeutic trace minerals and therapeutic doses for decades now, getting remarkable results. And why does it work? Because it's true. It's a reflection of the reality of life. Same way that, the Earth revolving around the sun. That's true. It's not the other way around. It's only a matter of time until everybody gets it. Same way that the Earth isn't flat, that the Earth is round. It's only a matter of time till everybody gets that. But the way that culture progresses, especially in the face of an economic monopoly, is very, very slowly. So my guesstimation is it's going to be 3 generations before information like this and the information that we bring to the table is going to start to become recognized in popular culture, and it's going to take 6 or 10 generations in order for this to be common sense and commonplace. It's only a matter of time when 1 million people recover their optimize their blood sugar performance, and they no longer have type 2 diabetes. When 1 million people optimize the structure and function of their joints, and they no longer are suffering with arthritic conditions. When 1 million people easily lose weight and keep it off, it's only a matter of time until that information percolates more and more and more and more and more into the collective consciousness. But it's not going to happen in our lifetime. It's not. If you're waiting for it to happen in our lifetime, well, I've got a bridge I'd like to sell you. It's not going to happen in our lifetime, which makes our job and our position here a little more poignant and necessary. Because we are the keepers of the keys. We are the standard bearers of truth. We are on the tip of the spear of new information. Quite frankly, it's not new to us. This is old, ancient information that's, been recently uncovered and experienced again. I mean, even before mathematics was invented, 2 + 2 = 4, right? Even before mathematics was invented, there was a relationship between the radius, the diameter, and the circumference of a circle. All of these things exist, whether you knew about them or not. Well, it's no different with all of the stuff that we're talking about, medical nutrition delivered from a holistic perspective. It's always been the way that it is. The earth has always been round. The earth has always gone around the sun, orbited around the sun. It just takes a while for people to get it. It takes a while for people to understand, grasp, and embrace the truth. It's not going to happen on a massive scale in our lifetime. It's not. But it is going to happen. And the actions that we take today go a long way towards accelerating the future. But in the meantime, what you can do is embrace the truth for yourself. Realize the benefits of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition for yourself, and then tell everybody in your life about it. The problem is that everybody in your life whom you tell about it is not going to listen to you. Only a small percentage of people will listen to you because our message has not percolated into the collective consciousness yet. It hasn't. It's going to. It's going to take generations. So the difficult task that we have is showing people the truth, even though they will reject you because of it, even though they will laugh at you, even though they will tell you that you're crazy, even though they will politely nod their head in agreement, but in private they'll think that you're a knucklehead and an idiot, and they can't get and they never want to see you again, and they're going to cross to the other side of the street when they see you walking towards them tomorrow. This is what it takes to forward a new agenda. This is what it takes to become a herald of a new way. This is what it takes to become a standard bearer for the truth. And quite frankly, after a while, after you've seen so many remarkable recoveries, I don't know how many it's going to take for you. It's a different number for different people, and it can only take one experience, really, for some people. But once you see for yourself over and over and over and over and over and over and over again the wonderful, remarkable, jaw-dropping benefits of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition, when somebody tells you no, it's not going to affect you. You're just going to laugh it off. You're going to think to yourself, son of a gun, I really pity that poor person because they're suffering needlessly. So the longer that you hang out with us, the more you become one with the truth. The longer that you hang out with us, the more that you become immune to the criticisms of the unwise. The longer that you hang out with us, the more you become inspired by the majesty and the power of nature. And the Spirit, the indwelling Spirit inside the human body, which keeps everything going, and the intelligence which put the whole thing together into the bargain. This is experiencing, embracing, and then preaching the good word of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition makes you congruent with life. It gives you an authentic, to-your-bones experience of life. You feel, perhaps for the first time in your life, that you are a part of something bigger than you, something which, in fact, is a reflection of the heartbeat of the world. We talk about things that are true, things that make a difference, things that bring about an end to human suffering, things that make people healthier, things that make people happier, and we do it by grabbing onto the truth of life, holding on to it, and becoming partnered up with the truth of life. It's a wonderful place to be in, and that's why longevity grows at lightning speed. It's not so much because people are, in it for the money. With us, we say it all the time, the motto of Team Glidden is mission before commission. And that's what it is for most people, although they don't articulate it like that. Mission before commission. Most people get involved with longevity because they had a really bad health condition and longevity got them on the other side of it. And most people stay in longevity because once they've experienced the truth, they're in its velvet grasp forever. And the more they hang out inside of the community of other people who have experienced the same thing, they feel a connection not only to other human beings, but to the very spirit of life itself. Ladies and gentlemen, what are you waiting for? It's a fantastic ride. FireYourMDNow.com is the place to go. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, going to Las Vegas when we come back. Stick around. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Monday, the 6th day of January 2014. Thanks so much for tuning in and turning on. Starting a new segment here today. So, Tim in Las Vegas, you're going to have to wait 6 more minutes. I'll get to you at the very top of the next segment. A couple days a week, I'm going to be talking about common pharmaceutical agents and what's up with that in a section that I like to call What's Up With That. Today, we're going to talk about Humira, also called adalimumab. Say that 20 times fast. Adalimumab, adalimumab, adalimumab. Sounds like one of those old, automobiles that are trying to crank up, right? Those old Model Ts. Adalimumab, adalimumab, adalimumab. Well, you've seen the commercials on TV practically every night now about Humira. And, the sexy lady's voice, telling you that how good it is, and also telling you that you can die from liver cancer if you take it or whatever. Well, let's break it down. Humira, I'm going to call it Humira because adalimumab is just a mouthful, is a tumor necrosis factor inhibitor. It's a tumor necrosis factor inhibitor. It inhibits something called tumor necrosis factor. That's how it works. Now, inquiring minds want to know, what the heck is tumor necrosis factor? Well, tumor necrosis factor is a natural part of the body's immune system. And the body has a very complex police force. It's called the immune system. And, they've got detectives, and they've got the cops walking the beat, and they've got the cops in the patrol car, and they've got the SWAT teams, and they've got the undercover agents, and they've got the people that work in the weird disease, the weird crimes, right? Well, it's no different in the body. The body has a very complex immune system, very, very complex immune system. And tumor necrosis factor is a part of the body's very complex immune system. The primary role of tumor necrosis factor is in the regulation of immune cells, It is intimately connected with how well the immune system is working. It's able to induce fever. It's able to induce something called apoptotic cell death, which is the destruction of nasty cells in the body. Tumor necrosis factor, well, you can figure it out for yourself. Tumor necrosis, right? That's the destruction of tumors. It sounds like a pretty good thing to me, right? Right. It's also involved with inflammation, and it can inhibit the formation of tumors and inhibit the replication of viruses, all of which are really great things. So, tumor necrosis factor is the natural, normal part of the human immune system, and the MDs have created a drug to suppress tumor necrosis factor. Now, why on earth would they do that? Well, because one of the things that tumor necrosis factor does is it upregulates inflammation. So the more tumor necrosis factor there is, the more inflammation there is in the body. Now, you have to put yourself in the MD's shoes. Actually, I don't ever want you to do that. I want you to look at them from a distance, through binoculars perhaps, with a gas mask on, so you don't inhale any noxious vapors emanating from their stupid brain cells. But the fact of the matter is that the MDs believe that the body is an accident, that the body is completely 100% imperfect, that the body really doesn't have it together at all, and it's the doctor's job to suppress the natural functions of the human body over and over and over and over again. So rather than looking to see what the root cause of the arthritic condition is, what the root cause of the rheumatoid arthritic condition is, the MD doesn't care about that. They just develop drugs which suppress inflammation, which is a part of the process. They suppress inflammation. It's like painting over the mold in the basement. It's not going to fix the source of the mold. It's just going to paint over it. And so when you paint over the mold, when you take Humira, you suppress the natural inflammatory processes of the body. You feel better, but you've also suppressed the immune system. Well, guess what happens when you suppress the immune system? Tuberculosis, nasty infections, cancer, because remember, Humira kills cancer cells, so you're more likely to get cancer, you're more likely to get tuberculosis, so you're more likely to get all kinds of nasty side effects, because it's going against what the human body is doing, because the MDs have a really strange, outdated, archaic understanding of the relationship between reality and disease. Oh, and it doesn't hurt that last year it sold $5 billion in the U.S. $5 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, the only way to stop this madness is to fire your MD now. So, I like to be as accurate as possible. It wasn't $5 billion. It was $4 billion, 3 million. I was off 300 million. I was off by 700 million. It's $4.3 billion of sales in the U.S. and $9.3 billion worldwide, which is reasonable when you figure out that it costs approximately $1,662 per month. $1,662 per month. And the MDs have such an unbelievably good infrastructure present, and such an unbelievably good propaganda machine present all around the world, that they have convinced unsuspecting people all over the world to take this nonsense, to the tune of $4.3 billion of sales in the U.S., $9.3 billion in sales worldwide. Now, if you had a chainsaw accident and you had a gaping wound in your arm, you practically cut half your arm off and it's hanging down by the bone, well, you could just wrap duct tape around it and, go to Knucklehead MD, and they'd give you anti-inflammatories, and they'd give you antibiotics, and they'd give you more anti-inflammatories and more antibiotics, all of which would, of course, knock down the symptoms that you were experiencing. But unless you set the bone and sewed stuff up, you're going to get gangrene and you're going to lose the limb. which is what happened in the Civil War. That's why they cut people's legs off, cut people's arms off, because they didn't have the infrastructure in the field to take care of it properly. It takes way too long to do that. So if you had a splinter, if you had a big honking 3-inch splinter of wood sticking out of your leg, well, a good thing to do would remove it, right? Well, if you didn't remove it, if you didn't get to the root cause of what the problem was, you could manage all of the symptoms that would generate with all kinds of drugs, and it wouldn't fix the problem. That's what Humira does. It doesn't fix the problem. It simply manages it. It suppresses it. It's a very interesting, sophisticated way to suppress inflammation. But inflammation is there for a reason. But the MDs don't think it's there for a reason, because the MDs think that the body is just crazy. So rather than pulling out the splinter, rather than setting the bone and stitching up the wound, which is appropriate, smart, prudent, and wise, rather than getting to the root cause of really what's going on in the arthritic condition, which is chronic facultative deficiencies in bone and connective tissue nutrients, and consistent consumption of all the wrong food, the MDs convince people to take really expensive drugs into their system which suppress a fundamental part of the immune system in a managerial sense. Remember, it's not curative, it's management. And I'm the quack. Ladies and gentlemen, Humira, adalimumab. One more reason to fire your MD now. All right, it's time for Las Vegas. Let's see what's shaking with Tim. Hey, Tim, thanks for calling. You are live.
Thanks, Dr. Glidden. It's the first time listening to your show, and I got to tell you, I'm pretty happy with what I'm hearing. I agree with what you're saying. I've been dealing with muscle and joint pain for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
I've had blood tests done, and nobody can find anything wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just, it doesn't seem to get any better. And I know it's not because I don't have enough aluminumab in my body, enough Humira in my body.
Well, now, right, and you're absolutely right. And because we try to be balanced here, I might as well say it now because it needs saying. It's not the drug, it's how it's used. It's not the gun, it's how it's used, right? So sometimes drugs are awesome, spectacularly effective, really good, and really, really prudent to use. I mean, thank God for Novocaine, thank God for penicillin, et cetera, et cetera. Well, it's not the drug, it's how it's used. The way that the MDs use Humira, adalimumab, is just insane most of the time. Actually, I would go out on a limb and say all of the time. So, all right, Tim, well, how old are you?
I'm 48.
All right, and when this stuff started happening, had you done anything different in your life? You started a new diet, or you started a new exercise regime, or you did anything different? Was anything different, or was it just kind of life came rolling in and slow and steady you started to get these aches and pains?
I don't know that there was anything that I did, but when I first noticed it, I felt it on the back of my head, and I felt it spread down. It took a long time, but I felt it spread down my neck and into my back and my shoulders, and now it pretty much just, every morning I have no idea where it's going to show up. This morning it was in my neck, at the base of my skull. Sometimes it's my low back. Sometimes it's my left arm or my hip, and it's just, it just doesn't ever seem to go away. And I've always got the joint stiffness. My fingers don't want to bend in the mornings.
Yeah.
And,
so you've got this migrating phantom pain that moves around your body willy-nilly. No rhyme or reason. It kind of showed up slowly and then took up residence and never went away. All right, so you're not a sauna person or a hot tub person or a long-distance runner person, are you?
No.
Okay. All right, so all things being equal, our fundamental position here, which, by the way, is based on millions of dollars of federally funded research and decades of clinical experience by licensed and regulated physicians trained in medical nutrition. Our fundamental foundation here is with peculiar things like this, even with things that aren't so peculiar and they're definitively diagnosed, right? Like, oh, you've got primary hypertension, or you've got type 2 diabetes, or you've got osteoarthritis, or you've got whatever. It doesn't matter. Most of the time, when the body starts to fail and people develop chronic and persistent symptoms, which accelerate over time, get worse over time, or reach a level of painfulness and then doesn't go away, most of the time this is happening because your body has run out of stuff that it needs to keep that part of the body healthy. You know, your car runs out of transmission fluid and you can't shift gears. The power steering fluid gets leaking, you can't turn the wheel, and you lose a spark plug and the engine doesn't turn over so good. It's no different with the human body. So before we get nervous and start thinking about, weird stuff like, a tumor deep inside the brain, right, or weird stuff like that, the first, second, and third thing to do is provide the body with fundamental foundation medical nutrition. Give the body everything that it needs in absorbable recipes in doses that are appropriate for your body weight, number one. And number two, stop eating food that's gumming up the works. Stop eating food that's pro-inflammatory. Stop eating food that's inappropriate for the human body, inappropriate for the metabolism of the body. Give it 90 days and see what happens. So what's your current body weight?
About 180. About
180?
Just a little shy of 6 foot tall.
Yeah, okay, so that's a good weight for you, right?
Yeah, I'm in good shape.
Okay.
About 2 months ago, I gave up gluten.
Good
and
man.
About weeks ago, I started on glucogel, EFA Plus, the Beyond Osteo, and the Tangy Orange.
Yeah, okay, so, all right, so good. So you're on the right track here, but we have to dial in the dosages for you, all right? We have to dial in the dosages for you. And there's a difference in our protocol between a therapeutic, let's fix it dose and a maintenance dose where, I'm feeling pretty good, I just don't want to feel any better, and what do I need to do to maintain it, or versus what do I need to do to fix it? So when we're in a fix-it mode, it's a more intense therapeutic than we are when we're with the maintenance mode. The thing that you're overlooking here is relatively important. Because of the muscle-related stuff that's going on for you, you need selenium. Because it is entirely possible that if you went to 100 holistically oriented or even just good MDs, 75 of them would diagnose you with fibromyalgia. It sounds to me like it's fibromyalgia, but that's just fancy schmancy doctor talk for muscle and joint pain, which you've got. I mean, we know you've got that. So what difference does it make if we give it a Latin name? It's irrelevant. But when we have musculoskeletal inflammation and pain, which is migrating around the body, the first thing to consider is selenium. Selenium as a standalone. So the recommendation for you at 180 pounds, and I would do this for 4 weeks in a row like my life depended on it, okay? So I would do 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine twice a day. 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine twice a day. Put it in, 16, 20 ounces of water each time. Take about an hour to drink it down. Don't just slug it down. Sip from that slowly over the course of an hour or two. 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine twice a day. I'd like you to do 2 ounces of the white liquid calcium. 2 ounces of the white liquid calcium and 2 or 3 ounces of orange juice immediately before bed. Immediately before bed. 2 ounces of the white liquid calcium, the Beyond Osteo FX, and 2 or 3 ounces of orange juice immediately before bed. You can just slug that stuff down, chase it with a little bit of water, brush your teeth, hop into bed. Life is good. The essential fatty acids, you need 6 a day, and I'd like you to do that with meals. 3 with breakfast, 3 with lunch, 3 with lunch, 3 with dinner. I don't care. Do 6 a day of the EFA Plus. And selenium. The last thing is selenium. I'd like you to do 12 selenium a day, and I'd like you to do the selenium between meals. So 4 between breakfast and lunch, 4 between lunch and dinner, 4 between dinner and bedtime. Now, to hit that number, you're going to need 4 bottles of selenium a month and 2 healthy start packs a month. 2 healthy start packs and 4 bottles of selenium a month If that's outside of the budget, then do 1 Healthy Start Pack and 4 bottles of selenium. I want you taking 12 capsules of selenium a day, no matter what. Now, what I'd like you to do, in addition, is write down on a piece of paper, like on the left-hand side of a piece of paper, everything that's bothering you. And I mean everything, man. The stuff that is bothering you on a regular basis. Of course, the musculoskeletal migrating pains, anything else you've got, heartburn, indigestion, energy, stiff fingers, restless legs at night in bed, inability to fall asleep, insomnia, snoring, whatever. Everything else, I want you to just write it down. And once a week, I want you to check in with yourself and give each symptom a score from 1 to 10. 10 being, take me to the hospital, just shoot me now. And, 0 being, it's completely gone. Every Saturday or Sunday, check in with that list and give it a numerical score. And you'll be able to see objectively if things are improving or not. And the deal with holistic medicine is it takes time for the program to kick in. It takes time for everything to turn over and generate results in a noticeable, measurable, remarkable fashion. And in order to give you kind of inspiration to maintain the discipline, and I'm talking about a 3-month commitment here, I want you to do this program that I just outlined for 4 weeks. But really, from start to finish, you won't be able to judge this program up or down for 90 days. So take the supplements, give your body time, be mindful of what's getting better and what's not. And once certain things start to improve, it's only a matter of time until the rest follows suit. There's 10 foods you need to avoid, not just wheat, barley, rye, and oats. You can download that list for free on my website, fireyourmdnow.com. Sign up for my free newsletter, and you'll get my good food, bad food list. Eliminate the bad foods. Take those supplements. Call me back in 4 weeks. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you. Monday, January 6, 2014. All my exes live in Texas. Let's go and talk to Alaric and see what's shaking. Hey, Alaric, thanks for calling back. Happy New Year. You are live.
Thank you for taking my call, Doc. I think I developed a lung infection because all kind of yellow and greenish stuff has been coming out for like the last 7 days. I've been drinking the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. I've been taking almost everything. The killer biotics, and it's still like persisting.
Well,
anything else I should be doing?
Yeah. You just got to give it more time. You've got the creeping crud that's across the whole country, and everybody's got this. It's winter time. It's flu season. Everybody's sick. So the real deal here, and honestly, there's no way to gauge this. But what I will tell you, what I've seen in my experience with holistic medicine, if you were to clone yourself, and there are 2 Alarics, and one Alaric is following the diet and taking the nutritional supplements, and the other Alaric is not, and you both get this particular infection, the Alaric that didn't take, that wasn't on our program, would be much sicker for much longer. So there's nothing that we can do to provide a magic force field around people's bodies to prevent the intrusion of virus and bacteria and, like nasty bugs. That's just kind of life. But what we can do is we can shorten your experience of the illness and make your body more effective at getting over it more efficiently with less pain and suffering. So all you have to do is just maintain the course. There's a couple of tricks that I don't know if you're aware of these, but when your immune system is activated and, you're fighting off something, whether it's a virus or a bacteria or a fungus or whatever, one thing that you can do to help things along is not have anything sweet, not even orange juice. Nothing sweet. Unless it's a non-glycemic stimulator, a sweetener like the stuff that's in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine or any of the longevity products, because they don't raise your blood sugar levels. But when your blood sugar levels spike, you drink 8 ounces of orange juice, and now there's all this fructose in your blood. While your body is metabolizing that sugar, part of your immune system gets put to sleep. Even if it's a natural sugar. Now, remember, sugar's your friend. Your DNA is made from sugar. You couldn't blink an eyelash without sugar. And when there's too much sugar in the blood at any moment in time, your immune system becomes suppressed. So when you're fighting an infection, whether it's viral or bacterial, or you don't even know what it is, and if there's yellow stuff coming out of your lungs, it's a bacterial infection. You want to just stay away from anything sweet, man. So no orange juice, no honey, no agave, just don't have anything sweet. How many killer biotic are you taking, Alaric?
I'm running low, but I was taking about 12 a day.
Yeah, well, that's a good discipline to maintain. The only other thing that you can do is eat more protein, because your immune system is made from protein. That's what it's made from. And so when your immune system needs help, then you feed your body more protein. That's why chicken soup is called the Jewish antibiotic, because it's really pretty effective at helping you to get over an infection faster, because it's a very easy to absorb source of protein. So, yeah, I wish I had a better news for you. The only thing that you can do is maintain the discipline, let your body get rid of it on its own time. And then once you are on the other end of it, next time you're out and about, talk to your neighbors and people in your life and see how long it took them to get over it. And, see how bad it was for them. Were they lying down in bed debilitated with fever and throwing up blood? How bad was it for them, and how long did it take them to get over it? That's really the only way that you're going to be able to get perspective on this. So less sugar, more protein, 12 killer biotic a day until you're out of the woods. Thanks for calling, Alaric, and keep up the good work down there in Texas, where it's probably, 80 degrees today. It's minus 11 in Chicago. And that's cold, ladies and gentlemen. That's cold. It's not even funny. It's just downright chilly. Why, oh why, didn't I move to Hawaii when I had the chance? Going to Virginia to talk to Steve when we come back at 6 after the hour. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is Fire Your MD Now.